Hello there and welcome back to Pentiment. We are going to be speaking with the lady upon the mill. See if she has anything more interesting to say about the whole Christian tassing stuff. We're getting down to the wire. I don't know how much else we have to do with this part of the story. I feel like we've gotten through most of it. Hi Paul, how you doing? Good day, Magdalene. You haven't been in the abbey making any drawings, have you? How's the mural coming along? I'm making good progress. I've started working on the history of the saints today. You look extremely depressed. Good. Tassing's a pilgrimage town after all. What sort of mural are you creating, Magdalene? I believe Klaus was planning on a fresco. Intonaccio and then paint the fresco so they have a clear consistency. There's a few different techniques, but the fresco's just the right house wall. I will start with the intonaccio and then I paint the fresco over it so that I have a clear consistency. I know exactly what I'm saying. I see. Do you have enough plaster? The rat house wall is large. I was worried it wouldn't stay wet for long. Since when did the town miller know so much about art? He's an artsy boy. Well, he's an artsy man now, I guess. He's so old. It's been an interest of mine since childhood, but my father disapproved. After my mother and I left Tassing, we stayed with her family for a few months before we heard what happened. Your father's friend, Andreas, he encouraged me to draw. Did you stick with it? While we were away, I studied in my uncle's library. I've collected books about various art styles since we returned. Again, you look extremely depressed, so I don't know if it went so well. That's what I've done if Dad didn't let me know. That sounds like it was difficult. It was, honestly. It's thanks to Andreas that I had the courage to come back. That's nice. He encouraged me when no one else did. Is that why this little one is named Andre? I was so young then. Funny how much of an impact someone can make on your life in so small a time. I'm sorry, I've spoken to you like 3 times. Oh, well, anyway, I'm glad the mural's going well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. What all can the council have to do? It's not that big of a town. Is the council working on something? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. Right, but like, how much of that time is that taking? Like, how much time can that take up? Considering an idea. The idea's had quite a bit more pushback than we had anticipated. New ideas always face some kind of opposition. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but I feel like a nuisance. I can't imagine why. I certainly love it if my neighbors knows their way into my house. Can you push back against something you want to do? God, how horrible it must be for you. The Barb's things are always so mean. I wish they were just like slightly less and like a little bit more funny, you know? Go for it, man. Go for it. Thank you, Magdalene. I understand the hesitation. Folk like to look after their own homes, their own land. But this would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. I mean, that seems nice. Widows like Agnes or Gret. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. Is it gonna take you that long to just like... Okay, alright. I had better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. How you doing, Andreas? Magdalene. Are they in the Mueller house? Elsa, yeah, that's who I need to actually talk to. Oh my god, look, my hat, it's literally still here. That thing is fucking patched up. How you doing, Anna? God bless you, Magdalene. I remember when you were so little. Hello, Anna, how are you? You stole this fucking hat from me. I still remember. You stole it like 30 years ago. Oh, keeping busy. There's always plenty to do around the house. How's the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. In state progress, I think I'll be finished just before the new year. It'll be perfectly timed. Maybe a Christmas present. Oh, how wonderful! I have to bring Andreas and Ulrika by some time to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they do love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble. We had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. Your discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know, I was a real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count. I stole a bunch of shit from random people. It just felt so good. It felt so good it made me feel alive. So it wasn't Big George who was the troublemaker? Oh no, George has always been more hardworking than me. I was a thief and scoundrel. At least you know. It started with cakes from my mother's table, but still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found. Oh my god. Just stealing everything. Ulrich's little hat once even belonged to Andreas Maler, your father's friend. I stole it from his head. You did. Of course, stealing is against the Lord's commandments. I will go straight to hell. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already and marched me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. Did you get tired of saying the Ave Marias? That was part of it. I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the trouble started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. There was people dying and shit. I decided I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrica on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. That's more charitable than some people. I think everyone can learn from your example, Anna. Hopefully from my present one rather than my past. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. I do. But I need to talk to people. I love your hat. It's very nice. Is anybody else in here? No, okay. Elsa, could you tell me about things? Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassing for hundreds of years. Oh, is this for the mural? I'm not sure I want to get mixed up in that. You do, though. You do. You have to. You must. Please. Are you sure? Hardly any family's been in the town as long as yours. You're one of the few people who knew anything about the town after the Romans left. The Muellers have been a pillar of Tassing for generations, yes. Though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Leonard didn't care to talk about the past. Of course he fucking didn't. He was a piece of shit. I hated him. I'm glad he died. I meant your family, the one you were born to. Your family name was Kavisel, wasn't it? Oh. What do you mean, oh? What does O mean? Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. Oh. How's that happen? I'm not surprised your father remembers the Kavisels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I'm the last of us left now. Kavisel doesn't sound like a local name. Why wouldn't it be? I'm Bavarian. It is my name, so it is a Bavarian name. No one else in town has a name like that. Shouldn't you be Kaviselen? I've always been called Kavisel, as were my sisters and mother, and our mother before her. My grandfather told me the Kavisels have lived in this area for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Years and years. Were they pagan? Yes, the original Bavarian people, here even before the Romans. Oh. My grandfather said his grandfather had told him the Kavisels resettled the town after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. And you know, I think it's true. Doesn't this seem unlikely to you? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or may not be, doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of the ancient Kavisels driven from their land, only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I do, I understand. I get what you're saying. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Yes, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrike, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's alright. Just as I may not know exactly how the Caviezel's resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel close to her, and them, even though they are so far from me now. That's what stories are for, Magda. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. I do. I can do this. I can do this. Thank you, Elsa. God bless you, Magdalene, dear. I should get back to the rat house and get back to work. I should. Thankfully, we're quite nearby. At their farms. How are you doing? Oh, hello. What are you doing? You having good fun with your chicken? And friendly chicken. Martha. Ursula. Ooh. I haven't talked to you yet. I remember when you were a little child. Hi, Magda. Need something? Maybe. I'm looking into the history of Tassing. Oh, yeah. Were you another person I could talk to? Your grandpa said he told you a lot of things about the old ways. Can you recall anything? Yes, of course. I learned a lot from Attilia before she passed. How did she pass on her pagan secrets to you? I wish my grandfather had been around as I was growing up. Mom said he knew all sorts of things. What do you remember from her? Attilia knew all of these old chants in another language. She told me what they meant, but she couldn't, translate them, I suppose. They had to do with Perchta, but also St. Moritz. So where did they come from? She didn't know, but I think I figured it out after she passed. There were some people coming through town, and I heard them speaking their language. It didn't quite sound like the words Attilia used, but close. Was it Italians? And they said that St. Moritz was the patron of their home, too. Really? Where were they from? Ah, Swiss. Grandbuden. They said there was a holy spring in their town that had been blessed by St. Moritz. Oh. So if Attilia knew their language, does that mean their family came from Graubünden? Oh, were they speaking Romanche? What is Romanche? Spoken in Switzerland, predominantly in the canton of Graubünden, the Romanche language developed from a blend of vulgar Latin and early German. Were they speaking Romanche, do you know? I don't fucking know. I only ever heard it that one time, other than from Attilia, I mean. She said we all used to know the chants, the language, generations ago. I don't know. Maybe we weren't always the people here. What do you mean? Maybe we came from somewhere else. Our families, I mean. But people have been in Tassing since before the Romans came. That's what I've heard. People say the mine has been here forever. But, oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of things. Maybe there's no sense to be made of it. It's complicated. It's Europe, okay? People come and go. People come and go. It's Europe. There was a lot of people everywhere. I don't know if any of that is useful to you. What is this? I'm glad Ursula told me all this, but I can't imagine Father Thomas approves. I don't give a fuck about him, so that's fine. So an inquisitor heard about some of the things she believes. Well, she's older than me. She's made it this far. She's fine. It's fine. I think. I mean, I think. I decided what to think. So it might be. Yeah, it might be. Good. Not everyone appreciates hearing about these things. I know. Yeah, you should be careful, Ursula. Why? Oh, well... Not everyone is as open-minded as I am. Not everybody is controlled by a player in the 21st century, so you need to be cool, okay? I just don't want you to get in trouble. Alright, I appreciate the concern. It can't possibly be the first time somebody has told you that. Thank you for your help. Anytime, I'll see you later. Until then, if I do the mural and there is, in fact, a perched upon the wall, am I gonna get this whole town fucking burnt down? Are they not gonna appreciate that at all? Concerning. Central town. I don't think that there was anybody else. I actually forgot about Ursula being somebody I could talk to. Talked with Elsa. Ursula remembered some interesting things. Showing that Attilia's old chancer of Munch. She's not spoken anywhere near. Since the people she recently here weren't Bavarians but Swiss. I could illustrate that, though I think it might upset a lot of people. People need to fucking get over it. Who gives a shit? Who even cares? Be accurate. Be accurate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all stories. It's all stories. It's all what they want to believe. That's what it is. That's the theme. I understand. I understand what things are. I know what a theme is. Work on mural. Oh my god, are we actually working on it? Oh my god. Now, am I specifically deciding exactly what's gonna go on the wall? I do kind of want to perch it upon the wall, but I'm afraid that I will be destroyed if I do. Good evening, Magdalene. Good evening, Dr. Stoltz. Is everything cool? I see you're progressing on the town mural. You've made rapid progress. Have I? It's just blank. Time for Dad, you understand? I've taken longer than I wanted. Are your remedies even doing anything? Okay, don't be a dick. Rate the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Okay, I shouldn't be painting the mural. I'm trying to finish it in time for Dad. I'm doing the best I can to give him as much time as I can. The rest is in God's hands. God, don't you fuck me. Don't fuck me, God, okay? Don't kill my father, like, minutes before I finish this. Now then, the council's asked to hear about your progress. Oh, I'm sure they have. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. Yeah, it's a lot of Christian shit, Perchta is not going to go on the wall, I totally promise. There's a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. What have you chosen, if I may ask? Oh, okay. And Our Lady of the Labyrinths receiving the Christian settlers. I want to show history how it happened. I'll paint Lady Kiersa found in the abbey from the old Bergfried. Paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting from Christian history of Tassing up with Christian settling Graubünden to settle among the Roman ruins. Paint Lady Kiersa found in the abbey from the old Bergfried. Paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting the Christian history of Tassing. I mean, the saints are clearly important to these people, so it does make sense to have them there in some way. Saint Lawrence, Saint Etienne, Our Lady of the Labyrinth. I do kind of like Mary there. I do like the whole labyrinth thing we've got going on. That's kind of cool. It is what Thomas wants, though, and so I do not want it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show history how it happened. That might rub some people in town the wrong way. The saints are a core part of Tassing's history, after all. Yeah, okay, I only have so much room. I would be careful in how you choose to paint such a piece. Our Lord is a staunch Catholic. One could interpret the absent of the saints as well. Lutheran. Don't say that, don't say that. Lutheran to portray the founding of a Benedictine abbey. That doesn't make any sense. That's true, it is a Benedictine abbey. I'm simply presenting a possible interpretation. It may reflect poorly on Tassing. Fuck off. Fuck off. I'm not gonna paint the entire wall of just saints and God, okay? Get over it. Remember, these murals are for all of us. Yeah, they are for all of us. Yeah, I remember. Very well. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. That's gonna be a whole thing. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. Well, you're already saying it's like, well, you might go to hell for this, so I don't know where I'm gonna go from there. It's a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Stoltz. Yes. Have you seen someone looking around the abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the abbey in years, and no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? Oh, no reason. Just, somebody, tried to brain me with a big rock in a well, and then another time somebody was creeping around me. It's whatever. I'm sorry to hear that. Didn't you run into that odious woodsman, Hallerbrandt, not long ago? What? Oh, him, yeah. It did. It was not pleasant, but I don't think it's the same person. It does not have the same feel. Well, if you have concerns, you should ask one of the boys to escort you when you're out. No need to risk your safety, I suppose. You're right. Good night, Dr. Stoltz. Good night, Magdalene. I'm sure Oates would love to help me. I'm sure he would love to be my big protector man. I'm sure he'd appreciate that mightily. Are we gonna see? I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Oh, okay. I was saying, are we gonna see the mural as we're working on it, or are we gonna like reveal it all at once? I imagine we're gonna reveal it all at once. Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. What was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Estler. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther, too. I'll write to them tonight before bed. Okay. Alright, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon Jacob Estler and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write a letter to Esther, too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. Yeah, you might just get stuck and it's like, well, sorry, you're not hearing anything until spring. Jacob Estler, former Archdeacon of Freising. My name is Magdalene Drucker. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kirsau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? Or anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? Do you see any evidence that might suggest there was some sort of larger conspiracy? Do you have any reason to doubt the conclusion of the case? I did, as Andreas mentioned the notes. I did mention that, and I don't think I had to, so I'm kind of glad I mentioned it now. I'm gonna bring it up. More have appeared in Tassing in subsequent years, seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Druckerin. Okay, that's a bit of a short, ominous letter. That'd be quite the ominous letter to receive, like, before winter and the passes freeze up and it's like, oh, shit's going on. Dearest Esther, I hope you are well. I am not. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simon. And Elisha too, of course, and your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Dad is doing poorly, but at least he seems comfortable. He's sleeping more, but Dr. Stoll says that's a consequence of the colder weather. I do what I can for him, but this winter's been hard. It's not even winter yet, though. It's like November. It's not good. It's not good. I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much she and Dr. Stolz can do. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. Christ, I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake that feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explored the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. No one else in Tassing has seen anything, but some of the nuns say they've seen ghosts. The person who attacked my dad, why are they following me? If it's the person who attacked my dad, why are they following me? It's the strangest thing, given me a fright a few times already. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share at the moment is that mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas, or soon after, before the new year at least. Then perhaps, at long last, I shall be able to visit you and meet this Simon. Anyway, I fear that this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late, and reported worsening snows through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simon. Yours always, Magda. It shouldn't be that cold. It's only November. How's weather work here? Is it different? Is it different in Europe? It's like it's not even December, January. January, February. We got a lot of months to go. You doing all right, Dad? Hello, Magdalene. Okay, just saying hi. Just making sure you're there, I guess. I'll finish the mural, I promise. Wait, I shouldn't promise that. God knows. God only knows if I'll actually finish it. Oh, what is this shit? How did this get here? Stop. A note has been delivered to me. This is just like the note Dad found. Who's doing this? I have a feeling I'm going to find out sooner or later. I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. But he's been so weak, I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. I don't know. I don't know. Will I give him a fright so bad it stops his heart if I show him that note? I don't... What can showing him the note really do for me, though? What is he gonna do about it? He knows about he'd know about as much of it as I do. It's not like Andreas told him all about the notes, I don't think. I don't remember it coming up particularly. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I go to sleep. What's the worst that could happen? So I've been given a note now. It is my turn. I've seen so many of these notes and it's never been for me. I'm finally the belle of the ball. Oh. Oh God, how far in the future are we going? It's early December. It's still early December. We got time. We got time. Mr. Struckeren, only one letter for you today. Oh. Who's it from? The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you, the same to you. Goodbye, horsey horse. What do we have? Who's it from? A reply from Jacob Essler. Do you remember Mistress Struckeren? I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I've served as an archdeacon. I'm no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I'm no longer associated with the Catholic Church. Oh my God, what? If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. Oh, he's changed. The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kirsau was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Maler. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand, inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now, after so many years, must mean that their author is still active. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. Yeah, I mean, we do kind of have to figure out who's doing this, because they're going after me now. we can't just deal with that. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the rat house then. Still more work to be done. Okay. I want to see my work. I want to see what I've done so far. I just want to see. Oh God, damn, the whole month is gone. The fucking month is gone. Oh, is it Christmas? It's Christmas Eve. It's a magical time. Well, not magical, it's a holy time. It's a holy time. No magic at all, no magic. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural, and now I can start the final parts today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoll said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perchtenlauf. The Perchtenlauf. A Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time in which townsfolk dress as Perchten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. Okay. That sounds kind of pagan to me. There's always next year. What a grim thing to say. Alright. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoll said he would come by again today. Fine. I'm fine. You might want to just show him the mural now. You might want to take him over there. Right? I mean, I just feel like it's nearly time. Maybe I should But I need to finish it. I should stay at home with you today. No, Magdalene, if you want to work, you should work. It's all right. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they come from? Who wrote them? Surely not. Magdalene, Oh god, that must be Utz. He said he dropped by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad? I'll tell you, I promise. Do you know anything? What would he know? I don't recall if I explicitly told him about the stuff I knew about the notes. Alright. Unless it's just, you know, we were friends, and so it's assumed that Andreas told him stuff about it, which I could see. I'll be back later. Good, take care of yourself out there. I guess I will. I suppose I will. Go outside. The Revolt of 1525. Anything else I can fuck with? Anything hidden? I don't think so. Church and Druckers. How you doing, Utz? Morning, Magdalene. Morning, Utz. Cold out, isn't it? Freezing. Makes me envy Nico, able to stay inside all day. Even Andreas has his forge to keep him warm. That does seem like it would be nice. If you're a blacksmith, you got the forge at least. Anyway, here. I brought you some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Utz. You're welcome. So, how's your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I don't know if it's... listen. I think he's gonna die in that bed. I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the Peasants' Revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened, since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but I don't want to touch raw nerves. Fucking touch it! Do it! You have to! You have to finish it for father! For queen and country! What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mom, too. You might be able to ask them. Voshla and Matilda are the only two Benedictines still left living in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. They seem like good people to ask. Oh, I didn't think of that. Still, the mural's for Tassing, not the old abbey. I mean, it's all the same thing, man. It's all the same thing. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. It's your project, Magdalene. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old Archdeacon about it, too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? Sorry, I'm not caught up on any of this. Who? It doesn't matter. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how that old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling alright? Listen, it is connected. It's all connected, I promise. I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural project is getting to you. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. You're useless. I need to get to the bottom of this. If you're sure. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. Thanks for the wood, Utz. See you later, Mags. Ugh. Utz is right. I should start talking to people around town. I'd better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Perchtenlauf. The Perchtenlaufen. The Perchtenlaufen Gusten. So who all do we have to talk to? He named good possessions. I should speak to Agnes Steinauren about what she remembers. Clara's husband was right in the middle of everything. I should talk to her as well. Probably a lot of people at the Golden Hand to prepare the Christmas feast. Some of them must have memories about what happened. I mean, I'd say you could talk to just about anyone, to be honest. They were all there during it. They all remember. Now, whether they're willing to talk to me is another matter. But anyway, I think I will leave it here for the day. We have a lot of leads to go off of, and we're at the final section of the mural, which is fun. We need to finish it because Dad's not getting any better. He's clearly not getting any better, and it's coming. We're nearly at the end of the year, and I don't know if he's gonna see the next year or not. It's unclear. It's unclear. But anyway, I will leave you here for the day. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you have, then come back and see me next time. Goodbye.